Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Playmaker Sallins podcast. This is your basketball edition. Yo, guys, basketball edition. Yeah, I know we had NBA trades and we had like 10 plus trades go down on the trade deadline, but I'll focus on that. Next week, we talk about All-Star Weekend. This week, we gonna talk college basketball. We got a huge day coming up on Saturday. We're gonna have some good games to look forward to. I want to recap the last time I left y'all with the Big 12 ACC Challenge. That was a great challenge that happened back on January 25th. We're gonna catch up on what's been happening with the season so far to where we at now. We're going to go over the top 25 and we're going to look at some other stuff in college basketball because, hey, we're going to gap up 5 weeks left before we get into Selection Sunday. And these brackets are going to be hard to fill out. So without further ado, let us go ahead and let us jump right into the action. So the last time we left off, we was previewing the Big 12, the SEC Challenge back on January 25th. We had 10 games on the docket. You know, we had Missouri at West Virginia, Iowa State at Auburn, LSU at Texas, Mississippi State at Oklahoma, Tennessee at Kansas, Oklahoma State at Texas A&M, TCU at Arkansas, Kentucky at Texas Tech, Kansas State at Alabama, Baylor at Florida. So we had Baylor was at 1, Kentucky was at 15, Texas Tech was at 18, Auburn was at 16, West Virginia was at 14, and Kansas was at 3. So we had 6 ranked teams in part of this challenge. Obviously, one was going to have to lose because Kentucky, ranked 15, was at 18 ranked Texas Tech. So with that being said, of course, we're going to have one loss. And only one did lose. It was that game. So going over the game, I predicted that West Virginia would beat Missouri. I had Auburn beating Iowa State. I had LSU going on the road to beat Texas. I had Oklahoma beating Mississippi State. I had Kansas bouncing back from that disgusting brawl that happened against Kansas State. I had them bouncing back at home against Tennessee. I had Oklahoma State going on the road and beat Texas A&M. I had Arkansas beating TCU. I had Kentucky going on the road and beat Texas Tech. I had Alabama beating Kansas, and I had Florida beating number 1 Baylor. And I had the SEC winning 6-4. The series ended in a tie, 5-5 apiece. And I had all right but one. So West Virginia shut down Missouri 74-51. We had Auburn take down Iowa State 80-76. We had LSU go on the road and beat Texas 69-64 when it was very great. That was a great game to watch. That was a very good game. Those two teams will be tournament teams if they keep playing the way they are playing. Soccer Smart is doing good work in Texas right now. Oklahoma beating Mississippi State 63-62. Good game. Kansas did handle business against Tennessee 74-68. Oklahoma State did go on the road and beat Texas A&M 73-62. Arkansas did take care of home court when they beat TCU 78-67. Kentucky won the other game of the day in that tournament. In that challenge. Whew, what a game between the Wildcats and the Red Raiders, but the Wildcats came out on top 76-74, a big road win for them guys. Alabama took down Kansas State 77-74, and my lone miss, I picked my Florida Gators to beat number 1 Baylor. That did not happen. They started off 8-0. They opened up 8-0, and Baylor just took over. So Baylor defeated the Florida Gators on the road 72-61. So I went 9-1 in picks. The SEC did not win. The Big 12 did not win. It was a tie. So that's that. A great challenge. A great way to look at two conferences who could have at least 4 to 5 teams in each make the tournament. So if we looking at this right now, I like West Virginia for the Big 12. I like West Virginia in the tournament. I can see Texas in the tournament. Texas Tech in the tournament. And if push comes to shove, I can see Oklahoma in the tournament. So that's 4 right there. In the SEC, LSU, Florida, Kentucky, Auburn, Alabama's on the bubble. You can say Arkansas is on the bubble. That's about all I can see for right now. So we'll see. But at least 4 in each conference can make the tournament. I'm saying at least 4 from each conference can make the tournament. But we'll see how it goes because we got a lot more basketball to be played. Let us move on and take a look at what has transpired since then. So going already back to the 25th of January, that also happening besides the Big 12 SEC Challenge. The 7th-ranked Dayton Flyers went on the road to took down Richmond in a very good A-10 matchup. 87-79. Good old matchup. Jalen Crutcher, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. That's good. Also, SMU went on the road to upset 20th-ranked Memphis 74-70. Kendrick Davis, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists in that game. Then we go 3 days later down to January 28th. UNAV, the defending champs, handed Florida State a good old loss. 61-55, and Florida State was ranked 5th at the time. And with that loss, by the way, that's the 15th time this season that a top 5 team has been upset by an unranked team. 15 top 5 teams this season upset by an unranked team. This is unprecedented of what is going on in college basketball right now. This is why I said in the opening, when you try to make out your bracket, you're going to have a hard time making the bracket because you don't know who's going to show up, who's going to do what, and this and that. But getting back to it, Manamadi Dickey, 19 points, 8 and 9 rebounds in the upset win at home over Florida State. Cincinnati took down LSU, who previously took down Memphis. 65-43, Cincinnati gave SMU a beating. Jerron Cumberland, I'm surprised he's still there. He has to be a senior this year because he's been there for quite a long time. But anyway, Jerron Cumberland, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. VCU took down Richmond, 87-68. Deontay Jenkins, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Rhode Island, on the road, took down George Mason, 78-64. Tyrese Martin, 18 points, 10 rebounds. January 29th, the Red Raiders of Texas Tech upset 12th-ranked West Virginia, 89-81. High scoring. That's a high scoring game for a West Virginia team. West Virginia is supposed to be West Virginia. You don't score a lot of points. So when you hit 80, you might as well win that game. And Texas Tech scored 89. So yes, that's a win that they should get right there. Terrence Sharon Jr., 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Mercer on the road took down East Tennessee State 71-55. Bo Hodges, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Indiana State took down Drake. That's my pick to win that conference. 58-56. Jordan Barnes, 16 points, 4 rebounds. Maryland in a top 20 matchup with Iowa on the 30th of January. Maryland took down Iowa 82-72. Anthony Corn Jr., 31.6 rebounds, 6 assists. UCLA upsetting the Pac-12 over 20. Colorado 72-68. Chris Smith, 30 points, 9 rebounds. Ooh, he dropped 30. He dropped 30 and the rest of the team scored 42. Good gracious. Appalachian State went on the road to take down Arkansas State 71-68. Justin Forrest, 26 points, 4 rebounds. To close out the month of January, the 31st of January 2020, Penn took down Harvard 75-72. Great win for those guys. And then Rhode Island, they follow up they win over George Mason and backed it up with a victory over VCU 87-75. Wow. And another guy who scored 30. Fratz Russell, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Hey. And then we join into the month of February. In the month of February, San Diego State, the lone unbeaten team, took down Utah State, a team that was ranked in the top 15 in the preseason, 80-68. Matt Mitchell, 28 points. Creighton went on the road to upset 8th-ranked Nova at the time, 76-61. Not even close. Tyshawn Alexander, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Xavier went on the road and upset 10th-ranked Seton Hall, 74-62. Tyquan Jones, 19-18 on the day. Stanford upset Oregon, 70-60. Auburn and Kentucky got together on that day. Auburn was the better team, 75-66. Go figure. Wisconsin upset 14th ranked Michigan State, 64-63. What a very good game. Providence went on the road to upset Butler, 65-61. Cincinnati upset 21 ranked Houston, 64-62. Tulsa took down 23rd ranked Wichita State at the buzzer, 54-51. Elijah Joyner, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He hit the game-winning 3 to sink the Shockers. Michigan upset 25th ranked Rutgers, 69-63. East Tennessee State, they bounced back from their shocking loss, and they took down UNC Greensboro, 82-65. Southern Illinois over Drake, 79-72. As you can see here, to begin February, the Big East and the American has some challenges. Not a good look for those guys, but it is what it is. And as we continue on rolling on through what has been transpiring so far, the Iowa Hawkeyes in the top 20 battle against 19th ranked Illinois Final Nine line. Iowa took it 72-65. Luka Garza, 25-10. That dude was special. That's a special dude right there for the Big Ten. I just got to make. Then, by the way, this was on February 2nd. So, excuse me, it was on February 2nd. Day of the Super Bowl, by the way. The day of the Super Bowl. So the day before the Super Bowl, the Big East and the American Conference, we saw a lot of upsets going down. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 upsets. 8 upsets. Matter of fact, Creighton wasn't even ranked when they took down Nova. Xavier wasn't even ranked when they took down Seton Hall. Stanford wasn't even ranked when they took down Oregon. Wisconsin wasn't even ranked when they took down Michigan State. Providence wasn't even ranked when they took down Butler. Cincinnati wasn't even ranked when they took down Houston. Tulsa wasn't ranked when they took down Wichita State. Michigan wasn't even ranked when they took down Rutgers. Good gracious. Do y'all see what kind of season we're having in college basketball right now? Your ranking don't even matter this season. You better come to play or you will get caught. And what happened on February 1st, the day before the Super Bowl? 8 teams ranked in the top 25 got upsetted by unranked teams. Matter of fact, Creighton was on the road, Xavier was on the road, Providence was on the road. 3 of the 8 was on the road. 3 of the upset teams did it on the road. You know what? Let me get back to February 2nd. I looked at Green Bay took down White State. White State is leading that conference, by the way. That's a big win for Green Bay, 92-89. That's a very good win. Karan Hankerson, 22 points on the day. That's good. That's good. We go to February 4th, we go to the Tuesday, Super Tuesday. 9th ranked Maryland. They handled their business against Workers, 56-51. Jalen Smith, 14 points, 15 rebounds. And then we get back, and Penn State, ranked 22nd in the country, went on the road to East Lansing and beat 16th-ranked Michigan State, 75-70. Lamar Stevens, 24.7 rebounds. What is going on here? Jeez, Luis. Who's dominant this year? Who's dominant? We still trying to figure that out. And then we'll go to what happened on February 5th. Butler, ranked 19th at home, took down 10th ranked Villanova. Sean McDermott had 21-8. Pardon me, somehow the score has left me. I need to go find the score. Let me go find the score for you real quick. I think it was a buzzer beater, if I remember correctly. It was at the buzzer. Yeah, 79-76, buzzer beater. Kamar Baldwin hit the 3-pointer at the buzzer. That gave Butler the 3-point win. So you have that. I'm going to get back to Purdue because Purdue did something real good. I'm going to get back to them. So let's go down. Providence took down, upset 21st ranked Creighton, 73-56. a convincing win for Providence over a ranked team. AJ Reeves, 22 points, 3 rebounds. So, look, we got a lot of stuff going on. First off, Vanderbilt upset 18th ranked LSU, 99-90. Sabrian Lee, 33 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. This is LSU's first conference loss in the ACC this year, and then Purdue. Purdue beat the brakes off 17th-ranked Iowa, 104-68. Purdue shot 63% from the field, 56% from three-point range. I'm going to leave it right there. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to look at the top 25 teams. We'll be back. The Playmakers of Our podcast with me, your host, Darnell The Playmaker Sallins, and my co-host, Dallas Gunn. You can catch us 2 to 3 days out the week, whether it's on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We are on iHeartRadio, we are on iTunes, we're on Spotify, and many other platforms there is out there for your podcast and radio. We talk football, we talk basketball, we talk wrestling, whether it's college or professional, WWE or AEW. So subscribe to the podcast as we are now with Raise the Flag Productions. Check us out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And look, let us y'all heard what happened in the month of February, in the month of January. We are in conference play, and so far we have no dominant team. But I'm gonna read off the top 25 list, and I'm gonna put it like this: from 1 to 7. No, from 1 to 8. I'm gonna be respectful. From 1 to 8, those are the teams you want to look at and say those are your title contenders right there. Those are the teams you expect to be in the Final Four or the national championship. So, let me read off the top 10. Number 1, Baylor, 19-1 from the Big 12. Number 2, Gonzaga Bulldogs, 23-1 from the West Coast Conference. Number 3, the Kansas Jayhawks, 18-3 from the Big 12. Number 4, San Diego State Aztecs, 23-0 from the Mountain West. The lone unbeaten team in Division I basketball. The lone unbeaten. Never lost. Handling their business. For those of you who are out here on Facebook and social media who really dislike the fact that, San Diego State is in the top 4 or in the net rankings of basketball that ESPN has, they number 1. They are handling their business. They haven't lost their game this whole season. So, if you don't like the fact that they're undefeated, you don't like their schedule, guess what? There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing nobody can do about it. San Diego State is handling their business. Let them handle their business until they can't handle it no longer. Period. Point blank. Now, let me get back to the list. They are at number 4. Number 5, the Louisville Cardinals, 19-3 from the ACC. Number 6, the Dayton Flyers, 20-2 from the A10. Number 7, the Duke Blue Devils, 18-3 from the ACC. Number 8, the Florida State Seminoles, 18-3 from the ACC. Number 9, the Maryland Terrapins, 17-4 from the Big 10. Number 10, the Villanova Wildcats, 17-4 from the Big East. Just looking at the top 10 by itself, you have 3 ACC teams in there. You have Louisville, you have Duke, and you have Florida State. As always, we come into the season and we say the ACC is the best conference in basketball. So far, 3 of them are in the top 10. Well, we like to say the Big 10 is the best overall conference, but it's only one of them in the top 10. That's Maryland. The Big 12 has Kansas and Baylor, which is both ranked in the top 3. Baylor at 1, Kansas at 3. You have no SEC teams in the top 10. You have no Pac-12 teams in the top 10. You got a West Coast team. You got a Mountain West team. You have a A10 team. And you have a Big East team. 4 teams that you don't normally look at like that. Well, 4 conferences you normally... Well, you know what? I'm going to take the Big East out. Big East have made their way to be one of the major conferences now. They're a major conference. They're not a mid-major. So the A10, the Mountain West, and the West Coast. You got 3. So your other... So your mid Your mid-major teams, Gonzaga, San Diego State, Dayton. Your major teams, Baylor, Kansas, Louisville, Duke, Florida State, Maryland, West Virginia. Not West Virginia, Villanova. That's what you have. This season is none like any season that we have witnessed. Well, I have not witnessed. Some of you that are listening to me, y'all might be older than me, so y'all probably can call a year like this. But I haven't never seen a year like this in college basketball. This is quite interesting. So with that being said, let me go to 11 to 15. 11 to 15. Auburn, 19-2, SEC. Number 12, Seton Hall Pirates, 16-5, Big East. 13, West Virginia Mountaineers, 17-4 from the Big 12. 14, the Oregon Ducks, 18-5 from the Pac-12. And 15, Kentucky Wildcats, 16-5 from the SEC. You got your two SEC teams already in the top 15. You got another Big East team in there. You have another Big 12 team in there. And you finally get your first Pac-12 team in there with the Oregon Ducks. And then let's go down from 16 to 25. Michigan State at 16. 16-6 from the Big 10. Iowa Hawkeyes 17. 16-6 from the Big 10. LSU Tigers coming in at 18 with the 17-4 record from the SEC. The Butler Bears go to 19 with the 17-5 record from the Big East. You have the Illinois Final Nine at 20, 16-6 on the season from the Big 10. Creighton Blue Jays at 21, 17-5 from the Big East. Penn State, Nittany Lions are in the rankings. 22 on the season. 22nd in the rankings. 16-5 on the season from the Big 10. 23rd, the Arizona Wildcats. 15-6 from the Pac-12. Right behind them at 24 is the Colorado Buffaloes. 17-5 from the Pac-12. And then rounding out the 25th spot, the Houston Cougars. 17-5 from the American Conference. So, as you can see, you have 1, 2, 3 Pac-12 teams in here. So if I break this down by conference, so we have what 1A10, which is the Dayton Flyers, which is not surprising because Dayton has been balling. Obi Toppin, top is a monster for the Rutan Award, which is not surprising. So we can do that. From the ACC, we have 1, 2, 3. You got 3 ACC in the top 10, and then that's actually it. So if you're not in the top 10 from the SEC, you're not even ranked. So they got that going for them. And we go to the Big 12. We have Baylor. We have Kansas. We also have West Virginia, which is 3. And that's it. So there's 3 from the Big 12. We go to the Big 10. Your first Big 10 team is to Maryland. That's 9. So you got Maryland. You got Michigan State. You got Iowa. You have Illinois. You got Penn State. You got 5. 5 from the Big 10. So the Big 10, like we said earlier, is pretty much the deepest conference from top to bottom, really. And it's showing. They got the most so far. We got one Mountain West in here. We got how many Pac-12s we got in here? We have our first Pac-12 team, we're going to get to Oregon. And then you go down, you got Arizona, you got Colorado. So 3 for the Pac-12? Then what we got? Then we go to the American only has 1, which is Houston. But by the time the next rankings come out next week, that's going to change. Since, they just lost again. So with that's going down. So let's see. The West Coast team, only 1, because we already know that's Gonzaga. So Gonzaga's not going anywhere, though. Let's be for real. Gonzaga's not going anywhere. 10, 18. So we got 7 more spots. So let's go down to the SEC. What we got? So we have from the SEC? We have Auburn, Kentucky, LSU. So we got 3 from the SEC. Okay. The Big East, where we at with the Big East? Yeah, Villanova, Seton Hall, Butler, Creighton. That's 4 right there. That's 4 from the Big East. Am I missing any teams? No, let's see. 4, 7, 12, 13, 16, 18, 21, 20. Nope, that's it. So look, you're looking at the Big 12, the Big 12 with 3 teams along with the ACC, the Pac-12, and the SEC. You got your one from the 18, your one from the American, or one from your West Coast, and the one from your Mountain West, which is, Dayton from the 18, Houston from the American, Gonzaga from the West Coast, and San Diego State from the Mountain West. You got 4 from the Big East. Man, we talking Nova, we talking Seton Hall, we talking Butler, we talking Creighton. And then you got your 5 from the Big Ten. 5 from the Big Ten. Maryland, Michigan State, Iowa, Illinois, Penn State. Look at it. The Big Ten and the Big East. It is, matter of fact, it is great that the Big East is coming back to prominence in college basketball. Remember back when you had Syracuse, you had Nova, you had UConn, you had all these great men. Carmelo Anthony with the Syracuse Orange winning the national championship. You had Emeka Okafor with UConn one year, and then Kemba Walker another time for the Huskies of UConn. And you had Villanova coming out of nowhere back then. Even back then, Georgetown was a beast you had to deal with. And Seton Hall, they now making their name known. Butler used to make runs, Elite 8 runs back in those times. Man, come on. St. John used to be a power. Man, look here. It was a point in time. I remember St. John's played Duke and won and that crowd was stupid for St. John's. I remember that game. Cause with Duke playing Duke going to North Carolina, in New York, and Duke playing at Madison Square Garden. That's a Duke crowd. Not with St. John's though. But look here. The Big East is coming back. It is a great thing for college basketball. It is great. Keep it going. Keep it going. Not to mention Marquette. Marquette is on the come up. Marcus Howard, that boy's ridiculous. St. John's trying to do something. You got Providence upsetting people. You got Georgetown trying to make a run with Patrick Ewing at the helm. Look, the Big East, matter of fact, let me look at the Big East then. Because right now, the Big East could have the most teams in the tournament. Because the Big East is stupid right now. So, because I love the fact, even though they don't have Syracuse, even though they don't have, UConn will be returning to the Big East next season. By the way, UConn will be returning to the Big East next season. So be prepared for that. So where's the Big East Conference? All right. Seton Hall 17-5, Villanova 17-5, Butler 18-5, Creighton 17-6, Marquette 16-6. Then you got Xavier 15-8. Then you got your little 13, and everybody else is 13-10. Providence, Georgetown, St. John's, DePaul. Seton Hall, Villanova, Butler, Creighton, Marquette, and Xavier. That's 6 teams. All 6 of them teams can make the tournament. I ain't gonna guarantee all of them, but all of them have a legit shot of making the NCAA tournament from the Big East. Now, so what about the Big Ten? Let's go to the Big Ten then. I'm glad you asked. Big Ten. Maryland 18-4. Illinois 16-6, Michigan State 16-7, Penn State 17-5, Iowa 16-7, Rutgers 16-7. Then you got Purdue 13-10, Minnesota 12-10, Wisconsin 13-10, Ohio State 15-7. But you don't hear about them because they 5-6 in conference play. What is going on with Ohio State? Michigan, 13-9. Y'all 4-7 in conference play. What is going on with y'all two? Look, okay. Ohio State came into conference play 10-1. Michigan came into conference play 9-2. Ohio State went from 10-1 before conference play to 15-7. with a 5-6 record in the conference play. Michigan came in the conference play 9-2 to 13-9 with a 4-7 record in the conference play. Juwan Howard, I don't know what you got going. I don't know what's going on in Michigan. I don't know what's going on in Ohio State. But this is, look, it's weird. Y'all need to get this together. By the way, Indiana's 15-7, but they 5-6 in conference play. So, like, conference play is getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. And we'll finish up on that before I take another break. Looking at the SEC, as LSU suffered their first loss at Vanderbilt. That's not the sneeze, even though Vanderbilt's not that good. Not a typical Vanderbilt team, but things happen. So you have LSU 17-5, Auburn 20-2, Kentucky 17-5, Florida 14-8. I'm gonna get to it when I come back from the break. We're gonna talk about the state of the Florida Gators. Mississippi State 14-8. Then you have South Carolina and Tennessee both at 13-9. Arkansas is 16-6. So you have some legit chances here. So it's legit. You got some legit shots here. So with that being said, just dove into the top 25, looked at some of the conference stuff, and stuff happened. So we're gonna take our second commercial break here, and when we come back, state of the Florida Gators. Look ahead to Saturday's games because we got some rivalry games coming up. And we should be good to go. So we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you for staying with us. And let's address the state of the Florida Gators because we have a mixed reaction. We have a incomplete team. We have an unknown team. You have a team that can play so poorly. And just looking at Mike Working, like, why? Why are you even still here, right? Coaching right now. And then you have those games when you look at the team and it's like, where the freak has this been at? Where has this been at? Where is this? Why this can't be consistent? And you still look at Mike White like, you got the talent. What is going on? Why this team can't play this consistently? So as we get to state of the Florida Gators, let me go all the way back to the beginning of the season for the Florida Gators. So we begin the season versus North Florida at home, as we usually do. That's a victory, of course. 74-59. Okay. Next game, in-state rivalry, Florida State Seminoles. Beating us 4 consecutive years. They made it 5 consecutive years. As we lost at home 51-63 to the Seminoles. 1-1 on the season. Townsend got a win, but nowhere close to impressive. 60-60. All right. 2-1 on the season. So, okay. It is what it is at this point. We're not tripping. We're not tripping. So, no, we're tripping. I ain't like most Gator Nation. No, we're tripping right now. We're looking at it like, okay, we have a problem. Then you go to UConn. You lose at UConn, 62-59. You're 2-2 on the season. By the way, you came in the season and ranked 6th in the country preseason. In 4 games, you went from 6 to like 16 to unranked in 4 games. 2 of them was a loss to Florida State and UConn. Then they bounced back. St. Joseph's 70-62. Okay. And then a beatdown of the Miami Hurricanes 78-58. 4-2 on the season. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Then you knocked off 18-ranked Xavier at the time. 70-65. It makes you 5-2. Okay. Look like y'all about to right the ship. You defeat Marshall 73-67. Not impressive, but you got to win. You 6-2. So you went on a 4-game winning streak. You go to Butler. You lay the egg. 76-62. Okay, you bounce back. You play Providence. 83-51. Good bounce back. And then you got to play Utah State in Orange Bowl Classic down in Miami, and you lost that one 62-65. 7-4 through 11 games. You say not a bad record, but no, we're looking at Mike White like, dude, you got the best transfer player by the name of Kerry Blackshear. You still had Nimhart. You still got Keontae Johnson. You got some of these. Scotty Lewis is a great athletic player. Man is a good shooter. He just needs his confidence to shoot. Noah Locke can shoot too. What is going on here? Okay. For you, we at December 28th right now versus Long Beach State, 102-63. If they did not beat Long Beach State like they did, oh, we definitely would have been looking at Mike White like, dude, you got to go. What is going on here? But you handle your business. Now you 8-4 going into conference play. 8-4 going into conference play. 8-4 going into conference play. You played Alabama. Jimmy Dax is on the call and says Florida cannot handle the speed of Alabama. Drove me freaking crazy. How in the hell can you sit here and say a Florida team, a team in the state of Florida, can't handle speed from Alabama when Florida is known for speed? Mike White, I'm looking at you crazy. But you know what happened? You come back and you beat the Crimson Tide in double overtime, 104-98. You're 9-4 on the season. You want to know in conference play. All right. Next up, you take a trip to South Carolina. Not the easy place to win that, but you handle your business. 81-68. Good job. 10-4, 2-0 in conference play. Great. And then you go from South Carolina, then you go to Missouri, and you play probably the worst game that y'all ever played. Shooting right, because y'all couldn't shoot for a crap ton. Y'all couldn't shoot worth a darn at Missouri. Like, what? Let me go find what I worked this stuff at, because I had to work that game, so I didn't see the game. But I just happened to look at the statistics, and it was that was terrible. Like, very terrible. Y'all shot so terrible in that game. I don't know how. I don't see it right now. I can't find it, so we just gonna move on. But yeah, that was one of y'all worst shooting from this other season at Missouri. I'm surprised y'all got to 75. So you bounce back. You suffer your first conference loss. So you bounce back against Ole Miss. You beat Ole Miss 75-55, 71-55. They ain't had their best player. But hey, you got to play who you play. So now you 3-1 in conference play, 11-5 on the season. And then here we go. January 18th, here comes the Auburn Tigers to Gainesville. How this team going to look? And this team, very close first half. I watched the game. Very close first half. First half was pretty close. And all of a sudden, in the second half, I don't know what happened. So they shot the brace out that ball from 3-point range. Blackshear was hitting threes. Noah Luck was hitting threes. Man was hitting threes. Johnson was hitting threes. Second half, that second half was the best performance Florida has ever put up in this entire season against the number 4 ranked Auburn. Blew the doors off Auburn in the second half by the final score of 69-47 to go 4-1 at conference play. And then you go to LSU. You went from home from playing one Tiger to face the other Tiger at LSU. LSU is thankful that game did not go in overtime, because that game had went in overtime. I believe LSU would have suffered their first loss back on the 21st of January, and not on the 5th of February. But they won 84-82, and I wasn't mad, because when you down 10 with less than a minute to go and you make that up and have a shot to send it overtime, that shows me y'all got heart. That shows me that y'all came to play and y'all weren't going back down for nobody. So I will give y'all credit on that one. And then we get to the Big 12 ACC Challenge, and y'all started out against the number 1 team in the country in the Baylor Bears. You started out 8-0. The game started out 8-0 Florida. And it looked like Florida was about to put one on Baylor. And Baylor was going to see something that they never seen before. They blowing us out. We in this place. The Rowdy Rotters are going nuts. But, like Dickie V, because he was on the call, they got some leadership on that team. The starting 5 for Baylor, they are either juniors or seniors, man. Transfers. These guys are calm. They are poised. These guys know how to play together. Baylor is the only team this season who is still ranked number 1 for almost a whole month. Baylor, consistency, the leadership, the composure this team has. Y'all better watch out. Baylor is looking to make a big run in the tournament. They handled the Gators 72-61. So now you're 12-7 on the season. Now you got to come back and play Michigan State. And you blew that lead against Michigan State. I don't know how. I don't know why. But you was up on Mississippi State. and you blew the lead to lose to the Bulldogs. Matter of fact, that game was at home too. It makes me further wonder what happened in that game. Because, yeah, that's a game y'all should have won. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it happened. I'm pretty much ain't trying to figure out why anyway. I want to look past that because that was tough. That was a loss that's a loss you didn't need it. You didn't afford it. You didn't need that loss. You didn't need it. But you got it. So it is what it is at this point. As disappointing as it is what it is. So now, can you bounce back at Vanderbilt? Yeah, Vanderbilt doesn't have a good team. Vanderbilt's not good. Jerry Stackhouse is just learning his ways. But if you've been a Gator fan as long as I have, you know going to that damn gym is one of the hardest things to do in the SEC. Trying to shoot in that gym is ridiculous. But the Gators bounced back. They won 61-55. Should have been worse, according to some people from social media. Should have been worse, but it is what it is. Back to the Mississippi State game. Y'all was up 10 at halftime. And Mississippi State outscored y'all 43-26. How do they outscore you 43-26 in the second half? Let's see. You shot 38% from three-point range. You shot 44% from the field, while Mississippi State shooting 54% from the field, and 58% from three-point range. Boy, I tell you, the thing that this team here, this team is something else. I tell you, this team is something else. So, yeah, getting back on track though. You beat Vandy, good. And then you go up against the Bulldogs of Georgia. How in the blue hell do you guys fall behind 22 points in the second half to Georgia? That's my question. How in the blue hell? It's the second half, and y'all down 22 points to a Georgia Bulldog team. That's what I want to know. Like, honestly, Mike White, we are looking at you and trying to figure out what's going on. You was down 15 at half. Georgia scored 41 points in the first half to y'all 26. Edwards would be the number one player in the NBA draft. Trust me, Anthony Edwards will be the number one player in the NBA draft. No problem. That man had 32 points on 10 for 17. 6 for 7 from the free throw line. This dude is off the chain. But it's him. I don't know what Tom Green is doing in Georgia, but darn it, he's doing something because these boys here was up 22 in Gainesville. And somehow, in the second half, at some point midway from the second half, from the 10-minute mark on down, y'all reached a 22-point lead to win by 6. So y'all outscored them 55-34 in the second half. The first half and first part of second half, Mike White, your butt was looking to get fired. But Kerryon Johnson, Andre Nelhart, Trey Mann, they put it together to overcome one of the largest deficit in Gators history, a 22-point deficit to defeat the Georgia Bulldogs 81-75. Shooting 39% from three-point range and 47% from the field. Boy, I tell you. Now, 14-8 on season, 6-3 in conference play, and 4th in the East right now because LSU is 1, Kentucky is 2, and Auburn's 3. If the SEC tournament was the end of the day, LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, and Florida will have the double buys as of right now. That would be very vital right about now. So we will see how that goes. And so with that being said, upcoming you have Ole Miss on the 8th, which will be on Saturday. Texas A&M on the 12th. Vanderbilt on the 16th. You're going to Texas A&M on the 12th, by the way. You at Ole Miss on the 8th. At Ole Miss on the 8th. At Texas A&M. Home to Vanderbilt. Home to Arkansas. Your first meeting with Kentucky is at Kentucky. Is at Ruff Arena on the 22nd. Your first meeting with your arch rivals is on the 22nd. After that, on the 26th, second meeting with LSU. You owe them one. They got away with one. You owe them one. You're at Tennessee for the 29th. Interesting. You want to play Tennessee one time this year. You're only playing Tennessee one time this year. That's not usually how it goes. But you're going to Tennessee. You need to get that victory in Knoxville. You got to get that victory in Knoxville. And then follow it up on March 4th with a victory at Georgia. You showed them, even when you up 22, we can come back and beat you. You go to Athens, Georgia. You go to Bulldog Country. And you give them a beating that they deserve. And then you end the season at home against Kentucky. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more games left in the regular season. You are 14-8. Handle your business. Get to 20 wins. You want win 6 of these last 3 games. Get to 20 wins. Prepare yourself for a tournament run. This is the time of the year right now. Beginning of February going down to March. It's time to make this run. It's time to do it. Win 6 of these last 9 games. Get to 20 wins. We're going to transition because we're going to look forward to Saturday because we have a big day on Saturday. Saturday's a rivalry day. Headlined by the Tobacco Road rivalry. And for those of you who don't know, who are new to basketball, when you hear Tobacco Road, that means Carolina. Rivalry, North Carolina. So you have the North Carolina Tar Heels at home, Chapel Hill, and who's coming to visit? The Duke Blue Devils. That is your prime. That is your headline game for Saturday, 6 o'clock ESPN. But what also comes with that? Look. You have Florida State and Miami getting together down in Tallahassee. You have the battle for the Tigers. You have the 18-ranked LSU Tigers at 11-ranked Auburn Tigers. That is 12 p.m. ESPN. Circle that on your calendar. Put it in your phone. Watch that game. It's Tiger versus Tiger. I want to see how LSU rebounds from having a first conference loss at Vanderbilt. Now they're going from Vanderbilt to Auburn. Let's see how that goes. War Eagle or go Tigers. Also at 12 on Fox. Those of you who are Big Ten fans, the 16-ranked Michigan Stallions are taking on Jerron Howard and the Michigan Wolverines up in Ann Arbor. So if you're a Big Ten fan, turn to Fox at noon Eastern and check out Michigan State and Michigan. Big East fans, you got DePaul and Georgetown going together. Some other notable games I can see here that I can look at. You got Kentucky at Tennessee, 1 o'clock, CBS. There you go. That'll go your CBS game. CBS game has Kentucky Wildcats at the Tennessee Volunteers. As we keep going along, Press Virginia will take that trip to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners and a 2 o'clock matchup for the Big 12. Also going on for the Big 12, you got the number 17 in the country, the Dayton Flyers, are at home to take on the St. Louis in the A-10 matchup. That's on CBS Sports Network. Circle that game. That game is going to be interesting to watch because St. Louis has a score. Dayton got a score. The A-10 battle is going to be epic to watch. 2 o'clock Eastern Time. And then, speaking of going back to the Big Ten, look here. You got Purdue at Indiana, 2 p.m. ESPN. Do not sleep on this game. They might not be ranked, but don't you sleep on this game. This is going to be a hell of a game here between the Boilermakers and the Hoosiers. Circle that game. The Florida Gators are at Ole Miss. I think they got their best player back 2 p.m. on ESPN. So we're going to see if Florida Gators going to handle their business and do what they need to do, or Ole Miss pays them back. Going down on the list, looking at the schedule. How about this? 2:30 Fox. All my Big East people. Number 12, Seton Hall. At number 10, Villanova. Circle that on your calendar. Mark it down. 2:30, Fox. Pirates. Wildcats. It's going down in Philly. And keep it going, keep it going. The defending champs, I almost say West Virginia, excuse me, the UVA, the Virginia Cavaliers, the defending champs, on the road to take on the team that is favored to win the ACC conference. The number 5th ranked Louisville Wildcats on ESPN, 4 o'clock, right before you get to Duke, North Carolina. ACC double header. You can't get no better than this from 4 to 6. Virginia, Louisville, Duke, Carolina. Come on, man. ESPN, I see what you're doing. I like it. But if you're not a fan of the ACC and you kind of a fan of, the Big 12 or the Big 10, the Big 10 got Minnesota at 22 ranked, Penn State on the Big 10 network. But if you're a Big 12 fan, Texas Tech and Texas get together at Austin, Texas, 4 p.m. ESPN 2. And we keep going down a little further. Hey, if you're a mid-major type person and you want a mid-major game to look at, ESPN 3 has Drake at Northern Iowa. 2 teams I'm looking forward to seeing in the tournament to win their conference. We're going to see. Somebody's getting in. And you're going to go all the way down. Those are your 4 o'clock games. You're going to go down a little further when you get to the 6 o'clock game. I already told you about Duke and Carolina. Then we're going to go. How about St. John's at Creighton? 21st ranked Creighton at that. CBS Sports Network, 6 p.m. The number 1 team in the country, the Baylor Bears, are back home. They'll be seeing the Cowboys of Oklahoma State on ESPN 2 at 6 p.m. Colorado is still ranked in the top 25, but Stanford's coming in. Stanford looks to be on the road after that upset when they got over Oregon. So can Stanford make it twice on the road when they play Colorado in the Pac-12 network, 6 p.m.? Alabama and Georgia, 6 p.m. That's something to look at. See how that goes. And then when you get down even further, you got the lone unbeaten team in the country, San Diego State, on the road to Elfwood, but I believe they should be able to handle business as usual, so I'm not looking too forward to that. Providence and Xavier, 8 p.m. FS1. That's a game to look at. That's a game to keep an eye on right there. That's your lineup. Matter of fact, hey, if you stand out on the West Coast, and you're looking for some West Coast games to look at, I'm looking at some right here. The number 2 ranked Bulldogs or Gonzaga are at St. Mary's, 10 p.m. ESPN. I might stay up to watch that game. I get up at 10, so I'm not going to be able to see most of the games that we just talked about. So I ain't going to see Duke and Carolina and those type of games because I'll be at work. But when I get up at work, I might stay up and watch Gonzaga and St. Mary's go toe-to-toe. That's something I want to look at in the West Coast better. I might want to watch that game. But if you're not part of the West, but if you're not a West Coast fan, but you're a Pac-12 fan, UCLA and 23rd ranked Arizona get together in Arizona on ESPN 2 at 10. You can always look at that, You have options there. Matter of fact, you got the Oregon ranked 14. They're on the road to take on the Oregon Ducks for the Civil War. That's at 10:30 on the Pac-12 network. So you have options. You got down the West Coast. You don't have to be forced to watch certain games. You have options out there. So take it upon you. Watch these games. It's Rivalry Day this weekend. This will be good to see. Very good to see. Can't wait to see what they're going to do, where these teams are ranked at. We might talk about that next time. Oh, on the other note, speaking of college basketball, shout out to the women's college basketball. So far, I have said it so many times on social media and on the other podcasts. But, the UConn women are no longer feared in basketball. The UConn women are no longer feared. I watched the Oregon Ducks in the 3-4 match go to Connecticut and handle the UConn Huskies in their own building. It amazes me. Women's basketball is expanding now. Now, granted, you have the one player, I can't remember her name right now, who was close friends with Kobe Bryant. UConn or Gianna Bryant with the number 2 jersey before they played Team USA. So we got that going on. But speaking of UConn, I can't wait to see, because guess what? They next big matchup will be on Monday when they got to face off against the number 1 team in the country, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Sabrina. Yeah, Sabrina. That's her name, Sabrina. Forgive me for not remembering your name. Don't usually talk about women's basketball like that, but I must say you and what South Carolina's doing, Baylor, Louisville. We already know about UConn, but what you ladies are doing in college basketball right now has piqued my interest. I am proud, and I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant would be proud of y'all, because women's basketball is taking up a notch. So it's gonna be good to see. I'm doing a women's bracket this year. Every chance I get to watch some women's basketball, I'm watching some women's basketball. It is great, interesting basketball, I must say. Dangerfield, she tried to keep UConn in there as long as she could, but Oregon was just too much. Oregon was just too much. That was just too much. So we're gonna leave it like that. So if you get a chance to watch some women's basketball, watch it. You already know what games to look forward to for the men's side for Saturday, as is rivalry day. So we're gonna continue on this long journey, this roller coaster ride of trying to figure out who's gonna be the ones to win the titles and who's not gonna be a factor, and all this other stuff. Which mid-majors gonna make a deep run, and which team we need to look at, stuff like that. So go ahead and check out our post Super Bowl episode for me and Dallas. We give you a preview of what Dallas gonna bring as the offseason has begun in football per se, even though they got the SFL. We will not be covering the SFL. So Dallas gonna be covering some offseason stuff, college football and NFL. Got a lot of stuff going on. You know me, this is just college basketball for this week. Next week, we talking NBA All-Star Weekend. Get ready for All-Star Weekend. We're gonna talk about all the trades that haven't happened. We can let time to breathe. Going to get time to let these people get to their new teams and applicate all this other stuff. We'll talk about all the trade talks. I might have some guests come on. We'll see. We'll talk it over. If you didn't listen to the football episode, we are covering the Olympics 2020 this year. I'll be doing basketball and most likely tennis. Dallas will be doing track, and I'm finna find me a couple more people to join in on it. So somebody might be covering soccer, somebody might be covering something else. We will see. We're working it out, but for sure, you'll have Dallas for track, you have me for basketball, and most likely tennis. So we are making moves. You already know we on Anchor's the main home, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Castbox, whatever you can think of, we are on it. So you can give us a like, you can give us a follow, you can leave us a review, tell us how we're doing. Even if you want to criticize us, you can do that as well. What we need to do to be better, you can do that too. So thank you for sticking around. Oh, you can also catch us on RTF Sports Network, the champion of podcasting, the champion of sports, whatever you want to call it. We are doing all good stuff. We're working on merchandises to get y'all some merchandise that y'all can buy and rock to the best of your ability, because we are making moves. We are growing, and it's been a pleasure. It's a joy to keep this ride going. So you're going to hear us on the radio. You're going to hear us through podcasts on different platforms. We making moves. So thank you for your love and support. As always, you know how to get at us on the Facebook, Playmakers Blog, Twitter at Playmakers Doug. You want to get at me, Darnell The Playmaker Sallins on Facebook, Playmaker20 on the Twitter, B20 Playmaker on Instagram. So you can get at me on Facebook, you can get at me on Twitter, you can get at me on Instagram. I'm not hard to find, and I love interacting with y'all. So that's all I got for you on this college basketball edition. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for getting it through it with me. And I'll talk to y'all next week.